Hi class. In this video we're going to look at an example similar to P7-20 in your homework. So we're going to look at a scenario to determine whether a product should be sold as it is or further processed. So this says Lone Star Meat Packers is a major processor of beef and other meat products. They have a lot of T-bone steaks on hand and are trying to decide whether to sell the T-bone steaks as they are, or they can process them further into filet mignon and the New York cut. So then we have some data. If the T-bone steaks are sold as initially cut, we're selling them for $2.40 a pound. We've got some joint costs that we've incurred of $1.35. So our profit per pound for the T-bone steaks as they are is $1.05. Then it says we can cut those T-bone steaks in half and have filet mignon and New York cut steaks. One 16-ounce T-bone steak cut in this way will yield one 6-ounce filet and one 8-ounce New York cut. The remaining ounces are waste. So we actually have to deal with some of that because we're going to lose the ability to use part of that meat. So we have some waste. It says the cost of processing the T-bone steaks into these cuts is an additional 11 cents per pound. And then we've got a selling price, the filet mignon for $4 a pound and New York cut for $3.80 a pound. So requirement 1 says determine the profit per pound from processing T-bone steaks into filet mignon and New York cut steaks. So I've made a little chart out here, and we've got some processing further amounts, and we're going to have to calculate those to decide whether we're better off to process further or just sell them the way we are. So we're going to do these calculations based on a per 16-ounce T-bone rate, because every 16-ounce T-bone can be processed further into the filet, the New York cut, and then they're going to have those, of course, those extra costs associated with it. All right, so selling price of one filet mignon. We need to calculate the selling price of one filet mignon, and it said filet can be sold for $4 a pound. And let's see. And if we cut one of those T-bones in half, we'll have actually a 6-ounce filet mignon. So we're going to have to calculate how much, and we can't just put in $4 a pound because we're not going to have a pound filet mignon. We're only going to have a 6-ounce. So to do that calculation, let me just type that out here. We would have 6 ounces of a filet. So our 6 ounces filet, if we take the 6 ounces and multiply that by a per ounce price, we'll know how much the filet is worth. So we can, if we know the filet is $4 a pound, we can divide that by 16 ounces, which is 1 pound, and it comes up to 25 cents per ounce. So 6 times 25 cents an ounce is actually $1.50. Oops, and I've got some rounding going on here. Let me fix that. Okay. So our sales price of one filet coming out of one T-bone will be the 6 ounces of the filet, and multiplying that by a per ounce price, which is $4 for 1 pound, divided by 16 ounces, which will give us 25 cents an ounce, times 6 ounces is $1.50. We're going to do the same thing for the price of a New York strip. And it said, let's see, we get an 8-ounce New York strip, and that price was $3.80 per pound. So the calculation for that one would be 8 ounces times $3.80 divided by 16 ounces per pound. So that's the formula that I'm using. So let's see, $3.80 divided by 16 ounces is 0.2375, or almost 24 cents a pound, not quite. So 0.2375 times 8 ounces It's like $1.90 for the New York cut. So if we were to process a T-bone further, we get the filet and we get a New York cut, and those would be worth $1.50 and $1.90. So the total revenue from processing further, just the total of those two things, $3.40. Okay, so that's the sales from processing further. So we can actually take out the sales revenue from one T-bone because that's irrelevant. So whether we sell them as they are or we process further, that's kind of a sunk cost. So our sales from our T-bone, let's see, okay, $2.40. So we can put $2.40 down here. That's actually the cost from the T-bone, and we're not going to be able to sell that T-bone like a T-bone if we process it further. So we're going to replace the $2.40 of the T-bone with the $3.40 from the filet and the New York cut. So we're going to take the difference between those two. So I actually have $1 more revenue by processing those steaks further and selling them as the filet and the New York. All right, so then it says there's a cost of further processing, and we're actually given that. It says the cost of processing the T-bone steaks into the other two cuts is 11 cents per pound. So we're actually going to have that additional cost we have to consider. So the profit or loss from processing further is incremental revenue less the cost of processing further. So we actually have an 89-cent profit per pound from processing further. So we're going to come out 89 cents better if instead of just selling the T-bone, if we actually spend the extra 11 cents, cut those T-bones into the filet and the New York cut, and then sell those because they generate more revenue, and they're generating more revenue than they are accumulating extra expenses. So we're be 89 cents a pound better off. And so would we recommend that the T-bone steaks be sold initially or processed further? I'm going to put that I think they should be processed further because we're 89 cents a pound better off if we do that. So that one is fairly easy. The trick with this one is to remember to convert these amounts here because you're not dealing with pounds. You have to convert to like a per ounce cost. So hopefully this helped. And you'll be able to walk through and work on P7-20 without any problems.